Today we'll check whether your vocabulary is basic or advanced. I'm going to suggest some very common words that most language learners know, and you will need to think of an alternative word you could use instead of the one I suggest. You're going to see a picture or video on the screen. I'll give you a couple of seconds to think of a word, and then I'll provide the answer along with examples of its usage. It's going to be like a fun little game that will allow you to evaluate your vocabulary and improve it at the same time. Also, don't forget to share your results with me in the comments. One more thing that I want to mention before we begin is that the alternative words might include slang or informal terms. However, all of these are very widespread and frequently used in real-life conversations by native speakers. And to be familiar with them, you need to be an advanced learner. All right, without further ado, let's get started. So right now, you can see a picture on the screen. Can you tell me what it is? That's right, it is a helicopter. However, there's another very common word people use instead of helicopter, and it is chopper. If you knew it, that's awesome. If you didn't, that's okay. Now you know it. The term chopper as a substitute for helicopter originated and is primarily used in American English. Chopper is used informally and often in specific contexts. It is more casual than a helicopter and is typically used in everyday conversation rather than formal or technical communication. And here are a few examples of how chopper might be used. So, you can use it in casual conversation. For example, I saw a chopper flying overhead this morning. In news and media, especially in traffic reports or news coverage, you might hear something like, "Our chopper is currently over the scene of the accident." In military or police contexts, informally, they might refer to their helicopters as choppers. While chopper is understood in many English-speaking countries, it is predominantly an American term. In British English, for example, chopper is more commonly understood as a type of bicycle or a slang term for a type of motorcycle, especially those with extended forks known as choppers. Okay, let's move on to our next picture. I'm sure that everyone knows that this is a heart, but do you know another word you could use for it? Let's think. And the answer is ticker. By the way, there are other words you could use for all of these, and if you know some of them, that's great. And if you learn some new words for yourself in this video, that's even better. Okay, the term ticker as a colloquial substitute for heart has interesting origins and usage. It's not exclusively American, but it's certainly more common in American English and in formal contexts. Ticker is used informally, often in lighthearted or humorous situations. It is not used in formal or medical situations. And here's how ticker might be used. So you can use it in casual conversation. For example, the doctor said my ticker is as good as new after the surgery. You can read it or hear it in literature or movies, particularly in older books or movies. Characters might say, "This old ticker of mine has been through a lot." Or in expressions. For example, "He nearly gave me a heart attack" could be informally phrased as "he nearly stopped my ticker." While ticker is primarily associated with American English, it is recognized in other English-speaking countries too. The term might be less common and viewed somewhat dated in regions like the UK or Australia, but it would generally be understood. Next up is this picture. That's right, this is a car, and you already know what to do now. Think of another word for it. I'll give you a couple of seconds. And the word is vehicle. This word refers to any kind of transport that moves things or people from one place to another. It's a very broad term. It includes cars, but it also includes buses, bicycles, motorcycles, boats, and even things like airplanes and helicopters. Think of vehicle as a big category for all sorts of transportation. While this word has a broader meaning, I specifically wanted to include it in this video because I've received a lot of questions about it whenever I've used it in my videos. Now let's take a look at some situations in which we can use it. For example, in a traffic report, the accident on the highway involved multiple vehicles, including a truck and 3 cars. Here, vehicle means different types of transportation, not just cars. Or in environmental discussions, reducing the number of vehicles in the city center will help lower pollution levels. In this case, vehicles includes cars, buses, motorcycles, any type of transport that might contribute to pollution. The word vehicle is used all around the world, not just in the United States. It's a very common term in the UK, Canada, Australia, and many other countries where English is spoken. Before we move any further, we want to say a big thank you to Elsa Speak for sponsoring this portion of the video. And I'm honestly very excited to talk about and introduce you guys to their new feature, which is Elsa AI. This app will allow you to have a real conversation with Elsa AI. And when I say real, I mean it. The app will talk to you and respond just like people do in real life. It's very realistic. Moreover, you can practice your speaking and conversational skills without any fear of making mistakes and being judged. On top of that, you will receive feedback and an in-depth evaluation on your performance after the conversation. As you can see, you can choose from the given role plays, which are very useful for practice, or you can create your own scenario, or you can choose the surprise me option. Elsa AI is completely free for all Elsa users, however, with some limitations. So if you don't have the Elsa app already, you can click the link in the video description or in the pinned comment, or you can scan this QR code that you can see on the screen to download Elsa for free. And then if you want unlimited usage of Elsa AI, you can click the other link in the video description or in the pinned comment and get an amazing discount off of Elsa Premium. So in this video, which you can watch by clicking the link up here, I choose my own scenario and you can see how that went. Okay, I think that I'll go with surprise me.
You will play a frustrated customer waiting on hold. I will be the customer service representative. We will communicate over the phone. Your goal is to express frustration and get your issue resolved. Do you have any questions or changes before we start?
Let's start.
Hello, thank you for calling. How can I assist you today?
Hello, yesterday I bought a TV from you and it doesn't work.
I'm sorry to hear that. Can you please provide me with your order number so that I can check the details?
Sure, no problem. It's 1234.
Thank you for providing the order number. I can see that the TV was delivered to you yesterday. Can you please tell me what seems to be the issue with the TV? In that case, I suggest we arrange for a service technician to come and inspect the TV. Can you tell me what is your location and when would be a convenient time to schedule the appointment?
No, I don't want anyone to come over. I just want to return it.
I see. I apologize for the inconvenience caused. In that case, let me go ahead and process your return. We will process your return and the refund will be credited back to your Visa MasterCard within 7 to 10 business days. Is there anything else I can assist you with?
No, that would be it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for contacting us. Have a good day. Roleplay completed. Well done. We are computing your feedback.
So as you can see, guys, you can have a very realistic conversation with Elsa AI and you can play around with it and talk to it for as long as you want. I personally think that it's a great way to practice and improve your English. So give it a try and let me know what you think. And now let's get back to the video. Let's move on, shall we? Take a look at this video. It's a movie. If you didn't get this one right away, that's okay. I'll just tell you. It's a movie. Now think of an alternative word for it. And this word is flick. The word flick as a substitute for movie is an informal and somewhat colloquial term that has an interesting origin and usage, particularly in American English. This term is believed to have originated in the early 20th century. It is a shortened form of flicker, which refers to the flickering motion of early motion pictures. When movies were first introduced, the projection technology was not as advanced, causing the images to flicker on the screen. Over time, flick evolved into a slang term for a motion picture or movie. Flick is often used in casual, informal contexts. It's a more laid-back term compared to movie. For example, you might hear someone say, "Do you want to watch a flick tonight?" instead of saying, "Do you want to watch a movie tonight?" So, in casual conversation, you could say something like, "I saw this great flick at the movies last weekend." All right, let's take a look at this picture. As you can see, it's coffee. I'm sure all of you know this word and this drink. But what word could we use instead of coffee? Let's think for a couple of seconds. So another word we could use instead of coffee is brew. The word brew as a substitute for coffee is indeed a more informal and colloquial usage, and it's particularly common in American English. In modern usage, brew can refer to several types of beverages, including beer, tea, and coffee. When used in place of coffee, it conveys a casual, friendly tone. It's often used among coffee enthusiasts or in a more laid-back social setting. For instance, one might say, "I could really go for a hot brew right now," when referring to a desire for a cup of coffee. And you can even see its usage in cafes on their menu displays. So you could use this word among friends and say, "Hey, do you want to grab a brew?" This could mean coffee in a casual context or beer, depending on the time of day and setting. You could use it in a coffee shop and say, "What's your favorite brew here?" This refers to the types of coffee the coffee shop offers. Or you could use it at home or work and say something like, "I'm gonna make a fresh brew, would you like some?" And here it's understood as making coffee. While brew is understood in many English-speaking regions, its usage as a stand-in for coffee is more prevalent in American English. In British English, for instance, brew might more commonly refer to tea. And our last picture for today is this one. These are fruits and vegetables. You're absolutely right. Now, what else would you call these? Let's think. So another word that is very widely used is produce. The word produce as an alternative to fruits and vegetables offers a broader category in the context of food and agriculture. It's not just in American usage, it's understood and common in many English-speaking countries, including the United States, Canada, the United Kingdom, and Australia. Produce usually refers to farm-grown products, especially fruits and vegetables, available for sale, usually in a fresh state. At a grocery store, you might say something like, "I'm gonna go to the produce section to pick up some fruits and vegetables." Or when planning a meal, you could say something like, "For dinner, let's make sure we include plenty of fresh produce for a balanced diet." Okay guys, that'll be it for this video. Let me know your results in the comments. How many words did you know or were familiar with? And please let me know if you liked this video, and the easiest way to do this is to like the video. So please give it a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!